dose of NBA basketball on 2K Sports. I'm Kevin Harlan, and here with me today, Clark Kellogg and Greg Anthony. In the last meeting for these two teams, the Lakers were handed a loss when they went up against the Clippers. They'll be trying to turn things around and climb out of a hole down 2-0 in this season series.
May have been the worst effort you'll see from them all season long. Even for a game they weren't supposed to win, it should not have been that bad.
Against a lesser team, that performance wouldn't have been good enough. But play that way against a good team, and you end up with an ugly result that they had.
Here are the starters for Los Angeles. Kobe and Randall, the forward duo. Russell is out there with Jordan Clarkson. And it's Hibbert in at the 5 down low.
You know, there are a lot of bigger power forwards than him in the NBA, but very few that rise up like he can.
And so the Los Angeles Clippers get the first points of the ballgame. They grab their own miss and taken away by Paul. And Mbah a Moute, the pass to Pierce. Paul with the ball. He's picked up by Russell. Shot's good.
Boy, Doc Rivers keeps on leading his teams to successful seasons. A former coach of the year rarely has a season where his team doesn't meet expectations.
And the shot no good, a bit short.
Well, I think he kind of alligator armed that one, short-stroked it. After doing a nice job to get open, he didn't finish the shot.
Paul outside. And again, it's the Clippers from deep.
They really can't allow him too many open looks like that. I mean, that's just inviting trouble.
The Lakers off to a slow start. 8-point game. They come into this one having outplayed the Magic last game.
And really complete control of that game. If you recall, guys, they made sure they didn't have to sweat that one out down the stretch.
They didn't make any mistakes, kept everything tight, and coasted to the finish line.
Here's Paul, following the basket by Kobe Bryant. Back to Paul. The kick out to Pierce. Lets it go. No luck. Nice D from Bryant.
You almost have to assume he's going to knock those down when he is that open.
Now, here's Clarkson, covered by Redick. The Lakers rebound. Randall kicks to Kobe. Over Mbah a Moute. Kobe can't get that one to fall.
Boy, there was no hand in his face right there. I thought for sure he was going to knock that down. When he's wide open like that, he'll rarely miss those.
To the inside. It's hauled in by the Clippers. They want to keep it rolling here following the win against Dallas.
And you know what? Exactly what had to be done in terms of winning on the road. Never allowed any momentum to build up against them. Kept the crowd out of the game. And for every punch they took, they had a counter.
I was very impressed, Greg, with the way they stood their ground, even when they were on their heels some, coming through those moments where they were backing up a bit. That's what it takes on the road. You've got to show that kind of fortitude and resilience.
So timeout called here, the first for Los Angeles.
And Redick is just an unbelievable three-point shooter. It's not just his volume, it's his pinpoint accuracy. By the end of last season, Redick was 40% from behind the arc for his career.
Catching up on the changes for Los Angeles. Green, he's checked in for Mbah a Moute. Johnson comes in for Paul Pierce. And it's Crawford in for J.J. Redick. Now here's Johnson. Taking a look at his numbers, he averages about 7 points a game. 6 on the shot clock. Puts it up from 17. Crawford, no one around him. Good, and Paul gets the assist. Crawford's got himself on the board with 3 there. And for Redick, he knew what his NBA career would be like way back in 2005. Clark, I recall him saying, I think I'll be a role player like 80% of the players in the league. I don't expect to be a star. I'll just shoot. I'll be a team player.
Yeah, and he's exactly right. He was highly decorated in college, but every scout knew his strength was shooting the basketball, and J.J. knew it as well.
And here are the Clippers now, following the bucket by the Lakers. Crawford, no luck. Clark, some tough offensive sets. They want to turn it around.
Yeah, they need a basket just to regain some momentum here, Kevin.
And Young, here we go. Oh!
And really nothing like a good old-fashioned throwdown to get a team going.
And, Greg, they do need to get going. They wouldn't mind, shaving a couple more points off that lead right away.
Well, if the defense keeps giving up easy baskets like that, it won't be a lead for long.
And the replay, of course, presented by Kia. What a play. Huertas. And no good trying to get that one. And after just 1 quarter of play, a double-digit differential on the scoreboard. The Clippers on top, up by 11. And the second. And J.J. Redick, a focal point in his tenure with the Duke Blue Devils, both offensively and as a lightning rod for fans. There's no doubt that he is Mr. Duke, J.J. Redick, and it's hard to argue with that school's incredible success, Greg, whether you like him or not. And I know you've had a first-hand view of Duke a couple times.
And listen, I have the utmost respect for J.J. and Coach K and what they've done there. And listen, you could be known for a lot worse things in your life and haven't gone to a lot worse places. But I think for him, it's not about where he's been, Kevin. I think it's about where he's going and what's going to be the next chapter in his career.
And welcome back. It's been all one-sided so far through the first quarter as our second quarter gets underway. And what do you guys think so far about the offensive approach for the Clippers?
Guys, they are dialed in from beyond right now. They didn't waste any time getting into a groove in this game.
The other thing they've had going for them tonight is their passing. I mean, doing a nice job. Plenty of their points early on coming off assists.
Redick and Crawford, the sharpshooters outside. Cole Aldrich is out there with Green, and it's Prigioni in at the point. That's who's out there for the Clippers.
And guys, it looked like Nick Young had finally put it all together. I mean, he had a huge campaign 2 years ago, signs a new 4-year deal. Then last year, disaster strikes. I mean, he provided very little to the team outside of shooting the basketball. And even with that, he dropped to a career worst, 37% from the field.
So timeout called here, the first for Los Angeles. Well, Greg, getting back to Young, it's tough to completely judge him on last year's numbers because he was fighting through knee injuries, ankle injuries, all kinds of things. Clark, they only played 42 games.
Yeah, but when he's right, he can light it up. I mean, he's a go-to scorer, but he just never got right last season.
And the Clippers making a change here. Mbah a Moute's checked in, and it's slammed in by Young.
And really nothing like a good old-fashioned throwdown to get a team going.
And, Greg, they do need to get going. They wouldn't mind, shaving a couple more points off that lead right away.
Well, if the defense keeps giving up easy baskets like that, it won't be a lead for long.
Hard to get that one off with the size difference there. That makes it a tough individual matchup for him, especially down low.
Well, took on the big guys going in there and challenging them like he did. But, boy, that was a nice job.
And they've gotten good looks, so that's one reason they're frustrated. Maybe he can come up with something to get them an easy one, maybe get to the line.
Yeah, that may be the answer for them. But you know what else, Greg? Ultimately, I think because they're getting good shots, they'll make a better percentage of them going forward.
Rivers, he's checked in for the Clippers. Shot is good, and the Los Angeles leads cut to just 9 on the basket from Young. For Los Angeles, they've gone 2 of 4 shooting the ball here in the second. Fires for 3. Rivers can't get it to go. For Los Angeles, they've gone 3 of their first 5 shots to drop here in the second quarter.
The defense was trying to get back, and that left him with a wide-open 3. Much too good to pass up.
And a lot of teams are looking for coaches that embrace analytics and look at data-driven approaches. Coach Scott is not one of those guys. He's an old-school coach who goes with his own perception.
Not able to find it here in the second. He's off stride and off track just a bit after that one he had earlier.
Randall dishes to Young. Goes up the baseline. Rebound by Aldrich. And former coach of the year, Byron Scott, now with the Lakers. And as you said, Greg, he's not an analytics guy. And Clark, I think he's a guy that the eye test for him is huge.
Yeah, he feels a lot. Terrific communicator and storyteller. Great experience as a player and as a champion. And I think that all is evident in his coaching style.
Catching up on the changes for the Clippers. DeAndre Jordan's checked in for Aldrich. Pierce comes in for Mbah a Moute. Wesley Johnson's checked in for Jeff Green. And Chris Paul subbed in for J.J. Redick.
Just such a well-rounded offensive player. He's got a little bit of everything.
The shot by Pierce will not go.
Outstanding perimeter defense there. That was a well-contested shot.
Yeah, and you know he takes a lot of pride in his defense. There are no easy threes if he's on you.
And he lobs it up toward the rim.
Looky here, looky here. How about that one? That play, take that play and put it in the alley-oop textbook for future reference.
Perfectly done. He put it on a platter for him. Gosh, that was neat.
And guys, how about the touch there on the finish? Really just flawless.
Now 8 seconds separating the two clocks. Huertas passes to Bass. The dish to Nance. Young with no one around. Off the mark there with the three-point shot. The alley-oop layup, very well done. And now a 7-point Clipper lead.
Give credit where credit is due right there. A terrific assist.
"18 feet out. Oh, and he just knocked down the buzzer beater.
Nice shot there without a second to spare.
You know, as a defending team in that situation, it really irks you to give up a shot like that to close out the quarter.
And the first half comes to a close. We've got a close game going on here. Clippers